Today we are going to discuss about the complete information about the unit wise important question. Ecology, geography and evolution. So in these the unit wise topics are there. First of all, I am going to write the important essay questions now. The first question, from the first unit. The biogeochemical nutrient cycles, that is nitrogen cycle, carbon, phosphorus and water. And the second important essay question, that was animal associations, that is mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, competition, and predation. And a third important essay question, community structure and ecological succession. And the fourth important essay, wildlife conservation, India. So in these you can write the national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biodiversity, and biodiversity hotspots. And fifth question, fifth important essay. Geographical. So those are climatic and animal fauna. Paleoarctic. Neoarctic. Neotropical. Ethiopian. Oriental. Ethiopian. And Australian regions. And the sixth important essay, the theories of evolution. Lamarckism. Darwinism. And Neo-Darwinism. Modern synthetic theory. And the seventh essay, the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. And the eighth question, speciation, methods of speciation. That is allopatric and sympatric. And the pre-mating and post-mating isolation. These are the essay questions for 20 marks. And the short answer questions are also there. So those short answer questions are food chain, food web, ecological pyramids, and a second question, the energy flow also, and the third short answer question, population growth curves, and pollution and types of pollution, Wallace line, discontinuous distribution, continental drift, and the genetic drift, genetic flow, genetic load. So these are the important questions for your final examination point of view. So you carefully note these questions so in your notebook so for the preparation of your final examinations. The totally you are having 4 units, and those so these are 9 questions are mainly the important essays, and those are so important essay questions are biogeochemical nutrient cycles. So on those they individually asked to write about the nitrogen cycle for 20 marks. So otherwise they asked to write about the carbon cycle for 20 marks essay question. Otherwise they asked to write about the phosphorus cycle, but in these biogeochemical nutrient cycle the nitrogen cycle is a very much important among these 3. So always they frequently asked question is a nitrogen cycle only. So sometimes are also asked carbon. So you concentrate on the nitrogen cycle and the carbon cycle. So the phosphorus cycle, the water cycle is came from only the short answer question, but not for essay. So the essay question is only for nitrogen and the carbon cycles only. So in these biogeochemical nutrient cycles, the essay questions are only 2. Those are nitrogen cycle and the carbon cycle. You concentrate on those 2. So otherwise so your water cycle is blindly write a water cycle. Why? Because so the evaporation of the water, and so that was mainly the rain, the time of the rainy season. So from the clouds, so that water droplets are entered into the water, enter into the earth, and so that was the aquatic media are filled with the water. So that was rotated in an ecosystem. So you blindly write, no need to prepare separately. So you concentrate only on the nitrogen cycle and the carbon cycle only these 2. These 2 are the much important questions than these 2, that is a nitrogen cycle and the carbon cycle. And after that the animal associations is also one of the important question. Why? Because it is also one of the important essay for 20 marks, the mutualism. So if they asked to write animal associations, and sometimes they also asked individually write about the mutualism, write about the commensalism, and write about the parasitism. So, on those manner they asked in the short answer question, and also in the essay also they asked the mutualism, write about the mutualism, write about the commensalism. So, on those way also they asked. So, but you write for essay question. So, all these are mutualism with examples, commensalism with examples, parasitism with examples, competition with examples, predation with examples, then only you got the full marks. There is no examples, then so you may, so you lost the points, you lost the marks. And the ecological succession, so two are there, so that is one is a xerosphere and a hydrosphere. Two are there, so sometimes they individually asked to write about the xerosphere and write about the hydrosphere. Otherwise, they also asked write about the ecological succession for essay question, and a short answer question also they asked write about the xerosphere and write about the hydrosphere. So, first you prepare this question, then you can able to answer the short answer question or so essay question. And next, the wildlife conservation in India. So, you write some description about some introduction about the wildlife conservation. So, why the wildlife, what is mean by wildlife, why the India going to conserve the wildlife, and so what are the wildlife conservation acts, and after that what the list, you list out the national parks in India, and you list out the wildlife sanctuaries in India, and also include the biodiversity and biodiversity hotspots in India. Sometimes they also asked individually, so write about the biodiversity and write about the biodiversity hotspots in India for short answer question also. So, once you prepare this total entire answer, then you can able to answer the short answer question and also for the essay question. So, write about the biodiversity. So, the main important questions are nitrogen carbon cycles, animal associations, ecological succession, and this entire topic up to the national parks, wildlife conservation, so in India, biodiversity in India, biodiversity hotspots in India, much important questions, and also along with the geographical regions, the climatic and animal fauna of the Paleo-Arctic region, Neo-Arctic region, Neotropical, Oriental, Ethiopian and Australian regions. So, so the remaining Paleo-Arctic and Neo-Arctic, so the atmosphere climatic conditions are common, that is why you can write the animal fauna of Oriental region, animal fauna of Ethiopian region, animal fauna of Australian region are there. So, you answer, so so the climatic conditions, first you write about the climatic conditions, and after that you write the animal fauna of fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammal population in these areas. And so it is also one of the, so write about the geographical regions, and so they asked to write geographical regions, and also they asked to write the another question, that is climatic and animal fauna of Paleo-Arctic. They also individually also asked to write about the animal fauna of Paleo-Arctic region, write about the animal fauna of Oriental region. So, on those manner also they asked to write. So, first you concentrate on, and so first you understood the question, then only you answer the questions. So, that is much important, and it is also important question. And the theories of evolution, that is Lamarckism, Neo-Lamarckism, Darwinism, Neo-Darwinism, and modern synthetic theory. If they asked a question to write the modern synthetic theory, then also you completely write about the theories, that is Lamarckism, the total up to the Neo-Darwinism. Otherwise, they individually also asked to write about the Lamarckism, Neo-Lamarckism and Darwinism, Neo-Darwinism. And also you answer and complete these four along with the modern synthetic theory, some points about this. Then only you got the 20 out of 20 marks. And so Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is a much important question. So, among all these so why? Because there is no question paper without these question. So, that is Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. And the speciation and the methods of speciation is also there, that is allopatric and sympatric speciation is there. So, the allopatric speciation, so that was So you defined along with the diagram the allopatric and along with the sympatric is also with the diagram, and so the pre-mating and the post-mating isolations are there. So totally these are 9 are including, so completely the so it was so much for 20 marks. So otherwise so you can able to, so then you answer the remaining questions. నేను ఆఫ్ చేసేస్తాను, ఇది ఆఫ్ చేసేస్తాను. నేను ఆఫ్ చేస్తాను, మీరు వెళ్ళండి, ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు. మీరు ఎందుకు ఆఫ్ చేసిండ్రు మరి, నేను చేసుకుంటా. లేదు లేదు నేను చేస్తాను, వెళ్ళండి, మీరు వెళ్ళండి, నేను చేసుకుంటాను, వెళ్ళండి. So these 9 questions are mainly for the 20 marks, and the remaining for so these are remaining for, so food chain they individually asked, food web they also individually asked, ecological pyramids are also they individually asked, the energy flow and the population growth curves they individually asked question, and the population is you blindly answered these population. So that is the population growth curves. So you blindly answer these question, that is the types of pollution are there. So you can able to write these question, and so these are pollution, the Wallace line. So it is important for sometimes they also asked in the essay and also inside the short answer, and the Wallace line and the discontinuous distribution only for the short answer and not for essay, and the pollution is also some chances are there for asked to write about the essay question, and the continental drift is there, the continental drift is also for the essay question, and the genetic drift, genetic flow and genetic load is also there. So these are the questions which may included mainly inside the, so the short and the long answer and the essay questions. So these you clearly note these all these questions in your notebook and concentrate on these questions. The isolation questions they also asked to write sometimes, so they also asked for a short answer and also for essay, and the remaining, so biogeochemical nutrient cycles on these nitrogen cycle and the carbon cycle and phosphorus cycles, and after that the carbon phosphorus water cycle, and the animal associations are there, mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, competition and predation, and the community structure, that is so xerosphere and hydrosphere they individually asked questions, and so the frequently asked important essays are these, and so wildlife conservation India, without there is no question paper, there is a, so without these so those such very important much important questions are nitrogen and the carbon cycles, and these animal associations, and the national, that is total information, the total topics, that is the wildlife conservation in India, and so the wildlife sanctuaries in India, biodiversity hotspots in India, and zoo geographical regions. So those are zoo geographical regions. So these are such a climatic and animal fauna of these such areas. So you can clearly mention, and you first draw the world map, then only you answer the climatic conditions and the surrounding areas which may include inside the Paleo-Arctic region, Neo-Arctic region, Ethiopian region and Australian fauna. So then so the complete then only you write the, after the completion of writing about the some description about the some points about the climatic conditions and their nearby areas. So then only you started to write the fish fauna. So what are the fishes are presented, and so the amphibian fauna, what are the amphibians are presented, and what are the reptiles are presented, and next what are the remaining, so the bird population and the mammal population. So you can able to write those such questions. So then only, so the animal fauna was completely vary from one area to the another area. Why? Because the climatic conditions are completely vary from the oriental region, Ethiopian region and Australian region. So oriental complete the India, so that was the comes under the India region, and so the Ethiopian region, that was completely comes under the African country, and The remaining Australia is completely about the information of Australia. So why? Because the climatic conditions are much different from one area to the another area in this manner. So such a variation is there, and the communities after the so write about these geographical regions. And the much important question is also these theories of evolution, that is Lamarckism, neo-Lamarckism, Darwinism and neo-Darwinism, and a modern synthetic theory is also there, and a Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. So such Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is also much important question. So it is also for the important essay. So nitrogen cycle, carbon, animal associations, you should write, you should prepare. So ecological succession, wildlife conservation, geographical regions, climatic and animal fauna, and so theories of evolution, and after that the modern synthetic theory they also asked to write, and then also the answer is Lamarckism. So you can able to write these four. The answer is same for theories of evolution and also for modern synthetic theory and the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, and after that the speciation. The speciation also the methods of speciation, that is allopatric and sympatric speciation. So allopatric and sympatric is completely variation, that is one that was mainly so you can write these answer along with the diagrams. So first you define a speciation, and after that so how the evolution was and the another question is also included in these. So what are the topics were left, that is the extinction is also their question. So that is for short answer is there, that is the reasons for the causes for extinction, causes for extinction in evolution. It is also one question is there. It is a very important for a short answer question, but not for essay. The reasons for extinction, how the organisms are going to be extincted and what are the reasons are involved, and so the extinction of the organisms, how they make the impact on the evolution, that is that question. So you also include these question in the short answer essay, short question but not for essay. And the speciation, allopatric and sympatric, it is a very important essay. And the pre-mating and post-mating isolation, what are the conditions are involved, what are the steps involved inside the pre-mating isolation, and also with the post-mating isolation. And so then totally you write so you so include this. It is today's your completely the last and final video. So you prepare well, so you include these you know these all the questions, what are the important for essay and what are the questions are important for short answer. So you include the total these topics. So and so you prepare well, then only you answer the why? Because the total entire unit is completely become dry. So that's why. So you may concentrate on the where the diagrams are available. So you draw the diagram where the appropriate, then only you got the full marks. Why? Because if the diagrams are fetching the marks, you know very well. So that's why you may concentrate so where the diagrams are appropriate. The nitrogen cycle is there, the carbon cycle, the such topics are completely contain the much diagrams are there, and the remaining animal association is less diagrams are there, and the xerosphere, hydrosphere is also there, the diagrams are available. And wildlife conservation is also dry, and so paleo-arctic, neo-arctic, only the world map is only here. And so the Lamarckism, neo-Lamarckism, Darwinism, neo-Darwinism, there is no diagrams are available for also this. And Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, it is completely based on the formula, and so speciation is some less diagrams are available for this. Pre-mating and post-mating isolation is also any diagrams are not available for this. And the remaining short answer question, the food chain, food web, complete diagrams are there for this. So food chain individually asked, food web and ecological pyramids, and the energy flow is also right, population growth curves, a perfect diagrams are available for this. Pollution, it is you can blindly write, and the Wallace land discontinuous distribution based on the examples, continental drift definition, and the genetic drift, genetic flow, genetic load, and the causes for extinction in evolution. So these are the total entire important questions. So you note these questions and prepare well. So this is the last and final video. I am going to stop here. So, I am going to stop here. We will meet tomorrow. Thank you.